All right, y'all. We got this video by Daigo Knight, another one called "When Did Itachi Reach Kage Level?" Oh, that's a tough one. Kage level? You know what I'm saying? Like, there's a lot of Kages out there, so it's hard to like compare Itachi to all the Kages out there. But I would say like prime, like base Kage level, I would have to assume is like similar to Sanin. So if you give the Sanin a run for their money, you Kage level. Itachi would give, for example, Orochimaru a run for his money at what age? Fucking 15? 16, maybe even earlier. So let's see.
Itachi Uchiha, definitely one of
What
the
y'all
fan
think, though?
favorite
When
characters in the Naruto
did
series, and
Itachi
a
have a
powerful
chance
member
to
of the Uchiha
defeat
clan. But
Orochimaru?
when exactly did Itachi reach Kage level in the Naruto series? I made a video talking about when each member of Team 7 reached Kage level already, so now let's
I'm
go
actually
a bit beyond.
afraid to watch the Sakura one because I am not a fan of Sakura. Everything about her annoys me, even the YouTube videos. So I don't want to watch that one. But let me know if y'all want me to watch that one.
And then explore some other characters. Now, for most characters, it's very difficult for you to pinpoint when exactly that character became Kage level because they just don't have enough screen time. But Itachi is one of those that has enough information about him that we can definitely come up with a good answer. And I'll define Kage level like I've defined in the other videos as well. A Kage level fighter, and we're talking about the strength of characters when I mention Kage level. Obviously, there are going to be other attributes that are important for Kage. But when it comes to the Kage battle strength, a Kage level character is a character that could have become a Kage in their level of strength, and it just wouldn't feel weird because they're too weak. That character will be one of the strongest ninjas in his or her village. He'll be able to fight, if not even beat tail beasts, and nobody really would question the decision of the elders of the village of making that person Kage. And yeah, this level of strength that is Kage
I want a
level is
Naruto
going to vary a
prequel.
lot from...
Do y'all think there's gonna be a Naruto prequel? If y'all think that's possible, please let me know in the comments below because that would actually like give me some hope.
From the bottom fodder that is Chojuro to
I'm
the
not into
absolute
Boruto.
Giga
Not
Chad
at all.
demigod that is Hashirama. So let's find out when Itachi reaches Kage level. The minimum possible level of strength for you to say, okay, yeah, if Itachi became Hokage here, it wouldn't feel weird. Well, obviously when we first see Itachi in the manga, when he shows up to the Leaf Village right after the Chunin exams, he's already at Kage level, if not way beyond that. The first thing he does is to literally finesse 3 powerful Konoha Jonins. He one-shot Kakashi with his Tsukuyomi, and he was essentially just kidding around because as a double agent, he didn't want to kill anybody from the Leaf Village. And in Naruto Shippuden, we see further capabilities Itachi had with a Susanoo, carrying the Totsuka blade and the Yara mirror, making it an invincible jutsu essentially. A character that has access to those jutsus is kind of by default a Kage level character. Not to mention Itachi's insane genjutsu prowess, speed, intelligence, and everything like that. Also, when Itachi is talking to Kabuto about why he's going after Sasuke's body now, it's because he couldn't catch Itachi in the past.
That's what I'm saying. Like, come on, bro. In the past, even. In the past? Bro, what does in the past mean when he's fucking 13?
Orochimaru says, it's unfortunate, but now Itachi is much stronger than I am. And bear in mind that Orochimaru had just fought and killed Hiruzen Sarutobi, the 3rd Hokage, the strongest sitting Kage of the moment, as well as the 4th Kazekage Raza. Orochimaru went on a Kage killing spree, and after that he says, yeah, no, this Itachi guy, he's just way stronger than I am. He's so much stronger, actually, that I have absolutely no chance whatsoever of beating and taking his body, so let's just move on to Sasuke. And if Orochimaru
Wait, but who's stronger then? Does that mean Itachi's stronger than Jiraiya? Shoot, I don't know. Because Jiraiya was ready. I'll tell y'all something, man. Y'all remember when it was Jiraiya with Naruto and Itachi came up with Kisame in the village, right? Acting all cool and shit. And Jiraiya was like, I'll fuck y'all up. And then Itachi's like, hey, we might have to, you know what I'm saying? We might have to, and Jiraiya like, no, let's throw hands, boy. Let's throw, and Itachi was like, come on, man, we might have to, you know what I'm saying? We'll come back next time.
Shoot. After he beat Hiruzen, that means, obviously, that makes Itachi a Kage level fighter in Naruto Part 1 itself. But that's not really the debate here, right? We kind of knew this was going to be the case. We just have to find out in Itachi's past when exactly he reached Kage level. So when it comes to the timeline, the next fight going back that we have from Itachi is going to be the Itachi versus Orochimaru fight. And no, I am not going to take Itachi versus Yagura into account because that's filler garbage, and obviously they heavily nerfed Itachi for that filler to make the fight feel a little bit tense. Like, yeah, sure, man, Itachi, the guy with an Edo Tensei body who's keeping up with KCM1 Naruto, is having a hard time keeping up with version 2 Yagura when he was alive and healthy, because I would assume that an Itachi freshly into the Akatsuki was pretty healthy. We don't know when he got sick, we don't know anything about Itachi's disease, but I have to assume it didn't last for
but
like
that's
a
like
decade.
one of the dumbest excuses to rid an anime character. I'm sorry. Fucking, I'm already spazzing out. Chakra disease? Come on, bro. You could have just give him Corona or Ebola or something. Come on,
Decade.
dude.
After all, he didn't show any signs of disease in Naruto Part 1 when he faced Kakashi and the other Jonins and even Jiraiya.
I'd
Sure, he was
understand.
tired.
I would totally understand if he had like fucking Ebola or something. This shit happens. But chakra disease? Seriously?
Because he used Tsukuyomi and Amaterasu, his eyes were twitching a bit. But it's not as if by the end of that arc, when
when they
Itachi
eat
and
all kinds
Kasami
of
were going
raw
away,
fish,
that
maybe salmonella
Itachi
or
was
something.
keeling
Come on.
over and coughing up blood and not being able to move anymore and just look extremely tired and exhausted like he was looking at the end of the Itachi versus Sasuke fight in Shippuden. So no, Itachi definitely wasn't sick there. And a lot of people don't like when you use Edo Tensei Itachi's feats to compare alive Itachi with and scale alive Itachi out of those, because people say that Edo Tensei Itachi is stronger than alive Itachi, which is true, but that's not because he is faster or stronger physically speaking than alive Itachi. It's because he has more chakra, aka infinite Edo Tensei chakra, and he's also able to spam his Mangekyo Sharingan abilities because his Sharingan as an Edo Tensei is not going to run out of light. Itachi didn't have that luxury. Also, Itachi felt a lot of pain from using his Mangekyo Sharingan abilities when he was alive, like every single Mangekyo Sharingan user except from Obito, because he has Hashirama cells in half of his body, and you can only really solve that problem of the Mangekyo Sharingan hurting you a lot and affecting you during battle when you use its abilities if you acquire an eternal Mangekyo Sharingan, which only Sasuke and Madara acquire. So Edo Itachi was stronger because of those conditions. He wasn't physically stronger than an alive, healthy Itachi, because we know that the Edo Tenseis were actually physically weaker. When we take a look at what Madara was capable of doing as
Wait, but what stopped Itachi from reaching an eternal Mangekyo Sharingan? His disease? Or was it something else? Did he need some kind of emotional like damage again? Some trauma? Kaisenat? Fucking something to receive the fucking
Tensei.
Sharingan?
He was very powerful, don't get me wrong. He was taking on the entire 4th Battalion, and he was fighting against Edo Tensei Hashirama, and they were pretty much tied the entire fight. However, when Madara gets revived with Rin Tensei, even though Madara didn't have his eyes yet, he was blind, eyeless, Edo Hashirama takes a look at what Madara is doing, and he thinks, oh god, Madara is regaining his former strength, meaning that what Edo Madara showed against Hashirama with the Rinnegan was not as powerful as what alive Madara used to be. So an alive healthy Itachi would also be able to keep up with KCM1 Naruto's movements, just like Edo Itachi was. And that's important, because just having that level of speed in the Naruto universe will essentially make you a Kage level fighter. KCM1 Naruto was keeping up with the Raikage in his maxed out lightning cloak. He dodged a full power Raikage attack, and the Raikage was the fastest ninja alive in that point of the story. Just before Naruto goes to fight against Itachi, and Itachi does pretty damn well against KCM1 Naruto in Taijutsu. And if you think about this, this would mean that Itachi would be also able to keep up with the Raikage in his maxed out cloak.
That's crazy, bro. How, like, this is crazy stats. Keeping up with the Raikage at Taijutsu speed is insane. You would think Itachi was only good at, like, fucking ninjutsu and genjutsu. But the fact that he's able to keep up at that level of speed is crazy. By the way, who's faster? Rock Lee, Mike Guy, or the Raikage? I mean, now let me take that back. Obviously, my guy when the eighth gate is open.
Maybe not as fast as him,
maybe I'm
of
wrong.
course. Like Sasuke, for example, was using his Susanoo and Amaterasu to keep up with the Raikage in the 5 Kage Summit. But think about this. The Raikage is pretty much a guy that is that fast and can also punch hard. That's all the Raikage does. And he's Raikage because of those capabilities. So you just have to think that having this level of speed sort of grants you Kage level by default. And we can see that even in his very debilitated state with that disease, Itachi was still really fast when fighting against against Sasuke. So if we think about a hypothetical healthy Itachi, which, I mean, he was healthy in Naruto Part 1, it's just that he never goes all out when he's healthy, he would be really damn fast. But when does Itachi actually acquire that type of speed? Well, unfortunately for us, in the Itachi versus Orochimaru fight that we see in that flashback, we didn't really get to see Itachi's speed, really. He just one-shots Orochimaru with a genjutsu and that's it, which, don't get me wrong, is extremely impressive, and that sort of genjutsu kind of already puts Itachi in the Kage level already as well, because think about this. Many people don't realize, however, that's a 13-year-old Itachi.
I knew it. Fucking 13, bro, is crazy. 13 is crazy. But this is what Kakashi could have been if he didn't fucking fall off. Let's be honest.
Fresh into the Akatsuki. If you didn't know, yup, Itachi did the Uchiha clan massacre when he was 13 years old, and he joined the Akatsuki when he was 13. He became Orochimaru's partner, and Orochimaru quickly tried to take Itachi's body. Obviously, that didn't work because Itachi one-shotted him and let him live for some reason. I don't know, I guess Itachi's a quote-unquote pacifist. But this really tells us that, oh, yeah, I mean, I guess Itachi is definitely Kage level at this point, isn't he? We can make the argument that Orochimaru was weaker in that state because he wasn't as experienced. He wouldn't have jutsus like the Edo Tensei, which would obviously be useful for a fight against Itachi. But there was also a younger Orochimaru, perhaps with more vitality. And he was already a legendary son and a member of the Akatsuki. He was Kage level at that point, and Itachi made very quick work of him. So yeah, the Itachi who...
Did Itachi do anything to fucking Orochimaru after he attacked the village? I don't remember Itachi doing anything about that. I wonder why. I guess the Akatsuki had his eyes on him, so I had their eyes on him, so.
Enters the Akatsuki at 13 years old is already Kage level, so we have to go back further. And the next thing we would have in the timeline is going to be the Uchiha clan massacre. The issue here is that, well, we don't really see exactly what happens during the massacre because it's kind of off screen. We only see snippets of it. And obviously Itachi does fight against some powerful fighters, some powerful Uchiha. However, we also find out in Naruto Shippuden that Itachi had help, and Obito, aka Madara, aka the Masked Man, was helping Itachi out with the Uchiha clan police, which are going to be the most powerful fighters, and Obito was the one fighting them. Now when Itachi casts Tsukuyomi on Sasuke, we also see Itachi fighting against Uchiha ninjas. We just don't know how many there were or how powerful they were, or even if, you know, Itachi was just fabricating that for the Tsukuyomi itself. And we also know that there was no struggle between Itachi and Fugaku or even Mikoto. They just accepted their deaths, and Fugaku would have been the strongest Uchiha Itachi would have to face, but he didn't. So it's hard for us to really determine how powerful Itachi would be at that moment, but not a lot of time passes between Itachi leaving the village and joining the Akatsuki, so it's likely he was around the same level. The thing is, we know that having those powerful emotions running through your head is what makes an Uchiha more powerful. And obviously, because Itachi was massacring his clan, including his parents, that means Itachi was going through those powerful dark emotions that make a Sharingan user and a Mangekyo Sharingan user more powerful. Sasuke was going through that in Shippuden during the Danzo fight, for example. He was evolving his Susanoo the more hatred he got towards Danzo. So I think it's very fair to say that Itachi came out of the Uchiha clan massacre much more powerful than he went in, but because we don't see the beginning, I guess.
Imagine the Hulk with fucking Sharingan.
You could see the Uchiha clan massacre, and it's mostly off screen.
Somebody please animate the Hulk with Sharingan, please.
To go to what Itachi does previously. So he sort of has a fight before the Uchiha clan massacre happens,
I think Hulk with the fucking Sharingan, ooh, he's definitely beating Goku. He's most likely beating Saitama. I think that's actually the strongest fucking being ever.
That's absolute stomp against those Uchiha clan policemen. Those guys who came to Itachi accusing him of killing Shis.
Imagine the Hulk like, oh, Genjutsu. Hulk smash! Oh my god.
So in everything, they piss Itachi off, and then Itachi blitzes them out of nowhere. And that's important here. They're in the Uchiha police, and it feels like they were pretty high rank in the police. Also, they all had the 3 Tomoe Sharingan, and we all know how powerful the 3 Tomoe Sharingan is, especially when it comes to reacting to the opponent's movements. And because feelings were running high there, they activated the Sharingan because they really suspected Itachi. And even though all 3 of them had the Sharingan activated, Itachi still still blitzed them. They couldn't do anything to
get
counter
wrecked.
Itachi, and he knocked them out
By a
without much
13-year-old.
difficulty and with a single punch for each. And those were 3 Uchiha Jonin from the police. They were powerful.
Oh,
It was
wow, they were
obvious that by
Jonin?
this point, Itachi is already extremely fast, and we know that by this point, Itachi had the Mangekyo already. After all, Shisui had died, and Itachi literally shows the Mangekyo to Sasuke after the commotion dies down. So
Itachi had the Mangekyo at 13? No. No. Wow.
just by having that Mangekyo Sharingan, he's kind of a Kage level fighter by default. So the best thing we can do here is go back to before Itachi awakens the Mangekyo Sharingan. And that's when Itachi's screen time begins to get a little sparse. We don't really see him fighting a whole lot, do we? Now, let's assume for a second that we take the Mangekyo Sharingan away from Itachi.
These visuals
the
are
Itachi that
outstanding.
fought against the Uchiha clan and killed his dad, and the Itachi who blitzed those 3 Uchihas, for example. If he doesn't have access to the Mangekyo Sharingan abilities to kill Matarasu, we don't know if he had the Susanoo already. I would assume he wouldn't, because Sasuke takes a little bit to awaken the Susanoo to begin with, but even Amaterasu and Tsukuyomi by themselves are going to make you a Kage level fighter, obviously. But if Itachi didn't have that, would he still be Kage level at that point? Well, considering he one-shotted Orochimaru with a base genjutsu from the Sharingan, that he was extremely fast and extremely intelligent, and that he had also had powerful ninjutsu with fire style and everything, I honestly think that pre-Mangekyo Sharingan Itachi was already Kage level. He was also an Ambu captain
That's
at third.
insane. That's a crazy feat. I want to see an alternate universe where Itachi remained in the village. Orochimaru would have gotten wrecked. I don't think Kabuto would have survived any longer than the fucking second season, because Itachi would have smelled his ass and smoked him by then. Fucking, oh my god, a lot would have changed. Kakashi would have never been Hokage, probably. Man, Pain? Itachi versus Pain? Let's say Itachi without the sickness, right? If he never got the sickness, Itachi versus Pain. I don't even think they would have made it that far, man. I think Itachi would have went to the fucking thing, the Rain Mist Village or whatever the fuck that's goofy ass village is called. Would have wrecked him there. Would have found Nagato, wrecked his ass. Would have wrecked Conan. Man, the only reason why Naruto, the story exists, is because so many fucking people out of the Hidden Leaf Village just went rogue. That's the only reason why.
13 years old, which, I mean, it's an Ambu rank, it's garbage, right? The Ambu is garbage, but no, they're not supposed to be garbage. We just get this skewed impression because most of the time when we see the Ambu fighting, it's against a very powerful opponent
They
and
are
they're treated
garbage.
as jobbers. And I mean, can you really see that Itachi without the Mangekyo Sharingan at 13 years old not beating a few Kage in the verse? Like Yagura, Mei, Chojuro, Darui, even Tsunade, I would say. What is she
Yeah.
going to do against a 13-year-old Itachi with that insane genjutsu, for example? Itachi's way faster than her. She's not hitting him whatsoever, so it's gonna be complicated. And yeah, Itachi graduated the academy at 7 years old and became a Chunin at 10, and the Ambu captain at 13. He doesn't get promoted to Jonin, but I guess the Ambu promotion sort of comes along with you becoming a pseudo Jonin in the Leaf Village. It's just that you're not working for the regular ranks, and that's really impressive. It's the second most impressive one after Kakashi. But the thing is, a 13-year-old Itachi would destroy a 13-year-old Kakashi. It's not even a context. I mean, Kakashi was 13 during the Kakashi Gaiden arc, and yeah, he was powerful, he was defeating Jonins and everything, but Itachi at 13, sure, it was after he awakened the Mangekyo Sharingan, but he didn't use it, was defeating Orochimaru, and Kakashi at 27 in Naruto Part 1 was absolutely terrified.
Kakashi at 27 terrified Orochimaru. Yeah, Kakashi, I don't know, he fell off. My guy would have whooped his ass. Let's keep it real with y'all. Like, let's keep it real. My guy would have wrecked his ass. Let's be honest. I don't know why my guy always felt like he was inferior to Kakashi. He could have wrecked him. He could have instantly fucking murked his ass.
Of Orochimaru when
keep it
Itachi
real.
was scoffing at him when he was 13. It's insane. So I guess it's time for us to bring up the
So
Hiruzen
infuriating.
argument. And when I say Hiruzen argument, no, it's not an argument relating to Hiruzen's strength. It's a literal argument that Hiruzen makes that Itachi was Kage level at 7 years old. Which sounds absolutely ludicrous, doesn't it? But people
When?
like to misinterpret this on purpose, let's be real here, because they want to glaze Itachi and say, oh, he was Kage level at 7. 7. Look how strong he was. Look how much of a prodigy he was. But obviously Hiruzen was referring to Itachi's mindset being the one of a kage at 7 years old. Putting the village first, thinking about the village before anything else, what would be good for the village, and not being stuck on more individualistic pursuits. Itachi already had this altruistic sense since a very early age. He already thought like a kage at that point, like the Hokage would, but he obviously wasn't kage level at 7. That's ridiculous. If he was promoted to the tuning rank at 10 years old, that means he definitely wasn't at kage level when he was 7. Now, yes, we know from the light novels that Itachi actually destroyed in his tuning exams. He took the tuning exams by himself without a team, and he essentially sold the Forest of Death in record time. So by 10 years old, he was already way more powerful than a regular chunin, maybe reaching Jonin level. And yeah, those light novels have some really weird feats that are just power fantasy feats, essentially. The picosecond feat! We have to take a little bit of it into account, especially when it comes to Itachi's promotions. We also know Itachi became an Anbu member at 11 years old. Not the Anbu captain, but just an Anbu member. And that's really impressive. It's a year younger than Naruto was in the beginning of the series. So Itachi was obviously very powerful.
A year younger than Naruto, already in the Anbu. Is there anybody comparable to Itachi? Let's be honest. Is there anyone comparable to Itachi? We can take Hashirama. We can take fucking maybe Tobirama. Maybe. I'm not even sure about that one.
That age. However,
Madara, okay, Madara for sure, Madara. But like, is there anybody else? Y'all, like, please help, like, name some, because that's crazy.
Does he become Kage level between the ages of 10 to 13? Because we know he probably wasn't Kage level when he was taking the Chunin exams, and we know that he definitely was Kage level during the Uchiha clan massacre, so it's likely he became Kage level at around 12 years old, before becoming the captain of the Anbu squadron, but also after becoming an Anbu member. And I mean, it sort of fits nicely in this meta-narrative, right? Because Naruto was an early 12-year-old in the beginning of the Naruto series. It would be funny if Itachi had reached Kage level at that exact same age, which would probably make him the youngest Kage level fighter in history. I mean, Hashirama and Madara were really strong when they were kids, but it feels like they weren't as powerful as Itachi. You could say the same thing about Minato, however, it feels like he was a bit of a later bloomer than Itachi was as well. So yeah, feels like Itachi was the youngest one ever. And I mean, if you want me to talk about other characters, like when Minato reached Kage level, let me know in the comments. If you want to find out when Kakashi reached Kage level.
Nice. I love these videos. I love this series. For real. I actually love this series, Dagonite. Let me see. I love this series. Yeah. Daigo. Keep going. Thanks, bro. All right, man. Amazing video. Shoot. I can't wait to watch the next one. I'll see y'all later.